Okay, guys, I have had a lot of questions lately about how to budget for bills that come up as far as quarterly or annually, just an expense that you might not have every single month, but you need to be saving for it. For example, your vacations, your Christmas, birthdays, different things like that. So instead of actually taking cash out and putting it into a physical envelope, I put it into an electronic envelope. And this system is amazing. It really gives you a true handle on, exactly how much cash you have to work with. So this is a free account that I created, and it's from Mvelopes. So Mvelopes.com, and you can create a free account. Obviously, I already have an account, but I wanted to show you guys how this works and how you can stay on track with your finances by using this. And this is something that I log on to each and every week as I pay my bills. So I'm going to go ahead and create this free account and kind of show you guys how this process works. Okay, I don't want that. How do I get out of that? Skip this. Okay. All right, and so you can upgrade to Premier, and I believe you get more envelopes, some live support, different things like that. It's $95 a year. I just use the free version. So you can kind of just play with it there and see if it's worth it. I have several bills, and it does everything for me that I need in the free version. So definitely try to make that one work for you than paying $95 a year. So, okay, here we go. And this is going to take you through the setup. Don't let it overwhelm you. Just kind of take your time with it. Play around with it until you get familiar with using it. And so I always go to inbox when I am first going to set everything up. So you want to add a few accounts. The main account that we have on our Mvelopes electronic version is our savings account and our checking account. The checking account is the one that we pull from the most. So if you go into accounts, you should be able to add an account. So just for time, I'm going to add an offline account, and it's going to be a checking account. And we are going to put Mandy's checking, and you can put, joint checking. And then if you guys have separate checking accounts for, husband and wife, whatever. So let's say that I already have a $500 balance in that account. And you can write the institution name, whatever you want to do, and then type in an account number and then hit add. So it's going to add this account for you. All right, so you can do that with each and every account that you have. So what I'm going to do here is go back to inbox. So you've got $500, and that $500 goes to what's called your income cash pool. And this is the actual income that you have that is available for you. So to add things into your check register, what you do is you click on your account, and then you're going to come to this plus sign to create, and you can create a deposit. So let's say that we are going to create a deposit. That's going to go into my income cash pool. To Mandy's checking, it's not a payment, it is a deposit, and let's say it's for $1,000. So you can do save and new or save and close. I'm not going to do anything else with that, so I'm going to save and close. The thing, $10,000. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Okay, we'll just play with that. So let's say that you want to, hold on here, let me fix that because that's not going to be very realistic. So okay, let's say you make a mistake. So what you can do is you can click on this little settings wheel, And we're going to take a 0 out of there. That would be nice, but let's just be realistic here. Okay, so that's going to update. What I like about this is it adds and subtracts for you. So there's no room for mathematical error. Your checkbook should balance each time to the penny if you're using this system. Okay, so let's say before we are going to spend our money, just like we've been talking about in this group, we are going to assign it. We are going to tell our money where to go before we spend it. Okay, so in our checking account, we have $1,500. So you'll see over here, these are your envelopes. And so you have bills, you have everyday expenses, you have giving, you have goals like your savings, and periodic things that might come up. So I'm going to expand on these. And these envelopes are already assigned. So you'll see your auto insurance, gas, home insurance, you can go down through there. You can also add and delete envelopes. So if there's something on here, like if your home insurance is included in your mortgage, like ours is, I'm going to click on that, and then I can scroll up here and actually delete that one. So yes, I'm going to delete that envelope. So you can kind of look through these and see which ones that you need to delete, which ones you might need to add some. So if you need to add an envelope, you just add here to create your envelope. So what I always do on payday is I fund my envelopes. So we're going to go here to where the little $ and plus is, and you are going to go through here and spend all your money. Okay, so let's say, we're going to take care of ourselves first. So we're going to make sure that our family has groceries, okay? We're going to make sure that we have gas in our vehicles. And so, you'll go through here and find where's it at? This one looks kind of different than the one that I'm used to using, so bear with me. Okay, auto maintenance. Let's just put it there. So we're going to have gas, we're going to have food, and you can see that this balance starts to drop, the difference. So I have $1,000 left to spend. Remember, your goal is always, always, always to be 0. You want to give everything a dollar amount. If you have money at the end, you need to assign it. So let's say you're planning for a vacation, and out of every paycheck, you need to save $200, okay? You know that you need a new roof for your house. So out of every paycheck, you're going to spend, let's say, $50. Might take you a while to get there at $50, but it's going to stay in that envelope. You know that you assign out of every paycheck $20 to go to birthdays. We do this for our kids' birthdays and any type of party that they might be invited to, so that's not a surprise. That's what you have to do. You have to plan for these expenses because they're going to come up. Your kids are going to get invited to birthday parties, and you don't want to be running to Target or to Walmart and spending an extra $40 that you did not budget for. Your auto registration. What we do is we take the amount that we paid the prior year. So this year for us, it was around $400. And then you just divide that by 12. That's going to be $33 a month. So if it's $400, you get paid weekly, and you want to do that into weekly, you just divide it by 52. So that's roughly $8. That might not seem like a lot to put in that envelope, but I promise it adds up. And when your yearly registration comes up, the money's there. You don't have to come up with $400 because you've been saving for it all year long. Every single week, you've been telling that money where to go. A question that often comes up is, how do you pay for a car in cash? I just know that I'm always going to have a car payment. Not true. Once you start doing this debt snowball and you're out of debt, you take that payment and you roll it over just like you were paying for it. We paid for a car. It was actually 2011. We bought it in 2013. I had $8,500 in cash. The ticket price on the car was $15,000. And I walked out of there with that car in cash, no payment. So I'm telling you, you can get a much cheaper car if you have cash. Cash speaks volumes. So what you do on that is, let's say that you were paying $400 a month on a car. You're going to keep paying that $400 a month. And guess what? In 10 months, you're going to have $4,000. It adds up, guys, I promise. So, and after all the money is spent, and you have paid all your bills, of course you can go through these and pay any type of bill that you might have. You will want to, whatever the difference is, looks like, oh yes, I have $322 extra. So most of us, the problem here is we think that we just have $322 to spend on our own. We can go shopping, or we can go out to eat, or whatever it is that you do with your extra money. It's not extra, guys. Whatever baby step you're working on, put it on that step. So I love how they align everything with Dave Ramsey's baby steps. Your goals: $1,000 in emergency fund. So guess what's going in there? $322. Done. You hit fund, and then you can see where all your money is. So you look through here, and this is where your money is. So, a lot of people are like, well, how do you always have a zero balance in your checkbook? I don't have a zero balance in my checkbook. I have a zero balance in my envelope. So I know where that money's going. And this is why I always say, pay off your credit cards, rip them up, never use them again. The only time that we borrow money is when we borrow it from ourselves. So when you have that $322 in your emergency fund, obviously don't touch it unless there's an emergency. And then if there's an emergency, you can pull from that. Now, like I said the other day, it's going to take some time to really develop a good, strong budget. So you might over budget some things, you might under budget some things, but just kind of take note of that. And I promise in 90 days, you will get the hang of this, and it will become like clockwork. You're going to have to spend a little bit of time on this in the beginning, but in the long haul, it's going to pay off, and you won't be spending near as much time on your budget. There's another feature that I want to show you real quick, because I don't want you to think that just because that money is in there, that is where it has to stay. So let's say that you budgeted $400 for groceries and only $100 for gas. And you're running low on gas, but you've got extra money in groceries. So the only way to take money is from another envelope. That was a problem that John and I were having. We needed an extra $200, but $200 just doesn't come out of thin air. It has to come from somewhere. So if you need an extra $200 for gas, it's got to take it away from somewhere else. So how we do that electronically is we sweep, and it's just going to pull it up. It's going to show you what balances do we have in groceries. So I know I've got $400 in groceries, but you know what? I need an extra $50 for gas. So I'm going to take that $50 out, and I'm going to put it into the gas envelope, which was right here, and I'm going to sweep it into here. Okay, so you still have a zero balance. You can assign it any way you like, and then you're just going to hit sweep. And that's going to transfer basically the money. All right, so for you to see, where you're at with your goal, where you're at with your goals, where you're at with, different types of savings, you can look up here, and see how much money you have in each envelope. So it keeps you accountable. There's actually an app that you can download that John and we both use, so that if he ever, is kind of curious, if he is ever curious of where the money's at or where it's going, he can pull up this app and see what we've got in each envelope. It just kind of keeps us both accountable. So I also like it because you can just scroll down here and see how much money you've got in gifts and auto registration, auto purchase, the list goes on and on. As your vacation becomes closer, you can see how much, you have in that envelope. So you don't have to have the cash around, guys. You can just keep it in these envelopes. And I love it because you will see your checking account grow and grow and grow and grow. So those fees of being non-sufficient funds are going to be non-existent anymore, because your checking account will just continue to grow. That doesn't mean that if you have, like for me right here, I have $1,500 in my checking account, I have no money to spend. Okay. So that just kind of helps for me to keep everything into perspective. It helps me to assign a place for all my money to go. just like I said, you have to tell your money where to go before you actually spend it. So that when you're at the grocery store, you're not wondering, oh my gosh, is this going to take away from my electric bill? No. With that being said, I do want to say certain things I do get cash out for. Groceries, I get cash out for, and gas. So I will actually go to the teller machine and get out that $350, or go to the bank and get out that $350. And how you assign that, you go back to your checking account and you're going to create a transaction. And let's say I'm going to get cash. The envelope that I'm getting that from is my groceries. Well, I thought it was groceries. I probably passed it. Okay, it says giving groceries. I don't know why it says that. So I'm going to get out my $350, and then I'm going to hit save and new. All right, then I'm going to come home and I'm going to stick that cash in an envelope. And every time I go to the store, I'm going to take that envelope with me. When the money's out, there's no more food. You eat what's here, okay? So then you can go through here and see there's no more money in my grocery, that I have cash for it. The same thing as you're paying your bills. You just want to make sure that you select whatever envelope that it comes from. If there's a zero balance, it's going to alert you and let you know that. And you can either fund your envelope or transfer money from somewhere else. So I hope that this helped you guys to understand, how you can actually save money without pulling out cash for big expenses, for yearly expenses, for vacations, for Christmas, different things like that. Just work with these envelopes, customize them to meet your budget. And if you have any questions about that, please let me know.